everybody. So this is a quick video meant to walk you through some of the bones of the hands and feet. Those of you who can't be here this week, or those of you who just need a little extra refresher getting ready for your lab practical, this hopefully will come in handy. So we'll start with the hand. This is the hand. We are actually looking at the palm, so we're looking at this right here, and this is a left hand, so we're actually looking at exactly this hand right here. And so let's kind of get the lay of the land here. So this down here, these 8 small bones here, these are known as carpels. They actually form sort of the base of the wrist right here, sort of where between my watch band is and the base of the hand here. And these, for our purposes, I'm not going to ask you to know them specifically, but you should know that this region of the hand, these bones are known as carpels. Couple little interesting things about these. This is the hamate bone right here, and if you look from the side, you can see that it sticks out quite a bit from the hand. Baseball and softball players know a little bit too much about this at times, because when they get hit by a pitch, many baseball players over the years have actually broken this hamate bone because that part sticks out. And so when they get hit in the wrist right here, they often will fracture this bone right here. So again, we have the carpels down here. Then we have the metacarpals, which are this next row of bones here. The bones of the palm are the metacarpals. So if we were to sort of look through here, we would see 5 bones going across that would make up the metacarpals. And anytime you hear that word carpal, that refers to the hand or the wrist. You may have heard of carpal tunnel syndrome, which is inflammation of a nerve that runs through the carpal tunnel at the base of the wrist. So these metacarpals are right here, as we talked about before. And the way that we classify them is by number. And so the first metacarpal here is the metacarpal of the thumb. That's the second metacarpal on the pointer finger. The middle finger gets the third metacarpal. I'm not going to show you that one specifically. The fourth metacarpal is here on the ring finger, and the pinky finger gets the 5th metacarpal. So, the only other bones on the hand, 14 on each hand, and also 14 on each foot, we'll get to that in a moment, are phalanges. The singular for phalanges is phalanx. So we have on the thumb, we have 2 phalanges. We have a proximal phalanx closer to the body, and a distal phalanx further apart. And you can actually see on the thumb, you can see 2 bones, and you can see the joint right here at the knuckle where they would be separated. And on each of the other fingers, you can see that we have 3 phalanges. We have a proximal phalanx here, we have a distal phalanx at the end, and in the middle, sometimes they get these names exactly right and keep them simple, we have a middle phalanx. So again, proximal, middle, and distal phalanges on each of the other 4 fingers. 2 proximal and distal on the thumb. So that is really all we need to know about the hand. High five for that. And now I think it's worth spending some time going over the bones of the foot. Now, you will need to know specifically what these 7 tarsal bones are right here. So the tarsal bones, which start here and go all the way down on your screen, they form the back and the middle of the foot, and they also form the arch, as you can see here. So we'll start on the back. We'll start on the back with the calcaneus. The calcaneus is this bone right here. We can see here that it sticks out toward the back. This is actually your heel bone. You may have heard of the Achilles tendon. The clinical name for the Achilles tendon is the calcaneal tendon, because on one end it attaches to the gastrocnemius, your big calf muscle, and on the other it attaches to the calcaneus, this heel bone right here. So if we look at it from above, it's all the way toward the back. And all the feet that we have are left feet. Not because I'm a lefty, although I would choose that if I could, but because that's what we have. So then, on the top of the foot, so you can see the calcaneus sticking out toward the back here. On the top of the foot, we have the talus, and the talus is actually one of the three bones that we consider to form the ankle joint, along with the tibia, which would sit here on the medial side. You can see the big toe here, so the tibia would be on the inside, and the fibula would be here on the outside. And so those three bones together would form the ankle joint, and you can see how the talus sits here on the top. So if we're looking at it from above, the talus would be right here. So that is what I consider to be sort of the back row of bones in the foot, the back row of tarsal bones, that is. And then we have a middle row here, which consists of this bone right here, which is called the navicular. You'll notice that that is on the big toe side. The big toe is up here. So on the big toe side, we have the navicular, and the navicular is a bone that's often fractured for basketball players, volleyball players, sports that involve a lot of jumping. There can be a lot of stress on the inside of the arch, and a lot of athletes will fracture this bone right here in the middle. And then on the other side, you sort of have to use your imagination, but we can see that this is shaped somewhat like a cube, and the people who were naming these bones picked up on that, and they refer to this bone as the cuboid. So we have, again, the navicular on the big toe side, on the medial side, and the cuboid on the lateral side. Then we have three bones. The remaining three tarsal bones all sort of come from the same family. That's the way I like to express it. Their last name is cuneiform, so called because of their shape. And we have the medial cuneiform underneath the big toe, the intermediate cuneiform. You may remember that intermediate is a word that means between a medial and a lateral structure. So the intermediate cuneiform is under the second toe, and the lateral cuneiform is under the third toe. So again, the calcaneus on the back, the talus right up here on the top, the navicular on the inside of the arch on the medial side, the cuboid on the lateral side, and then the medial, intermediate, and lateral cuneiforms make up the 7 tarsal bones. And again, you will need to know those specifically, so make sure you can identify those specific bones. So then our next row of bones is the metatarsals, and this is just as easy as the metacarpals were, and they're very easy as long as you can count to 5, and I have faith that you can do that. So we have the first metatarsal on the big toe, the second toe gets the second metatarsal, third metatarsal in the middle, fourth metatarsal, and then the pinky toe gets the 5th metatarsal. So again, metatarsals are on the foot, metacarpals are on the hand. Make sure you can tell me the difference, because that is very important. So, finally, we come to the phalanges, and the distribution of phalanges is the same on the foot as it is on the hand. It's a little harder to show here, but the principle is the same. So on the big toe, you have the proximal phalanx here, and then the distal phalanx right here. This bone right here, the distal phalanx of the left big toe, is actually the only bone I've ever broken. Knock on wood. So, the other... Sorry about the bell there, bad timing. The other toes each have 3 phalanges: proximal, middle, and distal phalanges. So again, the proximal phalanx is closest to the body, the middle phalanx is in the middle, and the distal phalanx is at the end. I've gone a little long here, so I'm going to wrap it up there, but hopefully this helps you to remember the bones of the hands and feet.